Aaron Judge is having one of the best offensive seasons we've seen in a couple of years. His power numbers are through the roof. He is probably the best hitter in all of baseball, but he's not the AL MVP. What is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another MLB video, and today we're going to be doing another episode of By the Numbers, doing a deep dive on the 2022 AL MVP race, very similar to the MVP race we had last season between Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Shohei Ohtani. This time I feel like it's a little bit closer, though, between Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Regardless of what your opinion is, these are two very good baseball players, two of the best the game has to offer. Nothing but respect to both of these guys. I absolutely love Aaron Judge, probably my favorite non-Angels player to watch play baseball. I've followed him since he was a rookie. I even met him in 2015 at the MLB All-Star Futures game. Dude is just a class act. I love me some Aaron Judge. Before we do get into the video, don't forget to leave a like down below to help this reach more baseball fans. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like daily MLB content. We have a new episode of Good Morning Baseball that just released at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's a daily MLB show where we talk about all the events that happened in the game of baseball the night before. So without further ado, let's get into the video and start discussing the 2022 AL MVP race by the numbers. Now, when it comes to these offensive numbers, Aaron Judge, man, just on another planet this season. Let's take a look at his numbers real quick. 67 games played in this year so far, 294 plate appearances, 27 home runs already. That is crazy. 302 batting average, 379 on base, 663 slugging, 188 WRC plus, 4 wins above replacement as well. Let's see where he ranks among the rest of the American League here. As you can see, he is second in WRC plus. He is first when it comes to slugging percentage. He's up there when it comes to batting average. He has a great on base percentage as well. He's walking at a pretty good clip. He is striking out a little bit more than you'd like, but hey, so is Mike Trout. A lot of these guys strike out a lot. It's a big part of the game of baseball nowadays. 5 stolen bases. He is doing a little bit on the base paths as well. A lot of RBIs, a lot of runs scored. He's just all around one of the best players and one of the best hitters in baseball. The only guy you could maybe argue is having a slightly better year. I wouldn't call it a better year, but obviously he has a little bit less power. But Yordan Alvarez, man, he's been tearing the cover off the baseball as well. Only guy who's really holding a candle to Aaron Judge right now offensively. But the guy we're talking about who is possibly the front runner for MVP in front of Aaron Judge isn't even on. You can't even see him on the screen right now. You got to go down a little further, down a little further, down a little further. You got to go all the way to 22 when it comes to WRC plus to see our guy Shohei Ohtani. So 131 WRC plus for Shohei Ohtani, 487 slugging, 336 on base, 260 batting average, as well as 7 stolen bases, 45 RBIs, 44 runs scored, and 15 home runs. Now, at face value, this is a pretty simple, cut and dry case. Shohei Ohtani is not as good of a hitter as Aaron Judge. But obviously, we all know by now, Shohei Ohtani, the only two-way player in Major League Baseball. Let's take a look at his pitching stats. 68 1/3 innings pitched so far this season, 11.85 strikeouts per 9, striking about 12 batters per 9 innings, 2.1 walks per 9, not the best, but also not the worst, that's for sure. 2.9 ERA, 2.77 fielding independent pitching, so his ERA is actually a little bit higher than his fielding independent pitching is, which means he should be a little bit better than he has been this season, and just been dominant on the mound. So factor this in, that is 68 1/3 more innings than Aaron Judge. That is 11.85 strikeouts per 9 higher than Aaron Judge. That is 6 more wins on the mound as a pitcher than Aaron Judge has had. It is a very, very, very large skill gap, in my opinion, when it comes to this AL MVP race. I don't know how you can justify giving a player who is half the ball player of the other one the MVP award over him. Aaron Judge, in my opinion, Aaron Judge would have to be twice the hitter that Shohei Ohtani is in order to make himself the front runner for the AL MVP. And right now, he is a lot better than Shohei offensively. I will absolutely give him that any day of the week. But 188 versus 131, just taking the numbers at face value, WRC plus, very simple stat to understand. 188 is not twice as much as 131. Aaron Judge would need like a 250 WRC plus with, 60-something, 60 to 70 home runs in order to compete with Shohei Ohtani. He would have to put up a legendary season, probably break some records, and Shohei Ohtani could still probably win the MVP unanimously. We saw it last season. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. put up a very, very good season. One of the better seasons by a guy under 25 we've ever seen in MLB history. but it wasn't even close. Shohei won the unanimous first place MVP. Vladimir Guerrero should have been unanimous second place, but there was that one Kansas City Royals fan who voted for Salvador Perez. Disgusting. Now, we've obviously only played about half a season worth. Honestly, we aren't even that close to half a season yet. Still got a few more games to play before the All-Star break comes around. Let's take a look at the underlying metrics on what we can expect from each of these players throughout the rest of the season. Which one of these players is more likely to sustain the production that they're doing right now? Okay, so first up, we've got Aaron Judge. Now, Aaron Judge, obviously 99th percentile in exit velocity, 98th in max exit velocity, 99th in hard hit percentage, 100th in expected weighted on base, 98th in expected batting average, 100th in expected slugging. The only thing he's not doing well right now is he's striking out a little bit too much, and he's not that fast, and he swings and misses quite a bit. But outside of that, he doesn't even swing at pitches outside of the strike zone that much. He's pretty damn good defensively as well, which is very impressive. Yeah, I think he's easily going to sustain this kind of production. I don't know if he's actually going to reach 64 home runs, which he's on pace for, but I could definitely see him, high 50s, low 60s. I could maybe see 60 home runs for the rest of the season for him. Now, taking into account Shohei Ohtani, these are his batting numbers here. 96th percentile in exit velocity, 100th percentile in max exit velocity, 82nd percentile in hard hit rate, 92nd in expected weighted on base, 80th in expected batting, 97th in expected slugging, 96th in barrel rate. And then same thing with Aaron Judge, actually, 34 versus 30. So he actually has a slightly lower strikeout percentage than Aaron Judge does. 25th percentile in whiff rate. Judge is a little bit better at not swinging and missing than Shohei Ohtani. Shohei does chase a few more pitches than him. He doesn't walk as much as him, but he is a lot faster. So Shohei, honestly, I think he's underperforming offensively at the moment. When you take this into account, he's 100th percentile in max exit velo. So he actually beats Aaron Judge out in max exit velocity. Average exit velocity, 96th versus 99th with Aaron Judge. So Judge is a little bit better on average exit velo. Judge has a better barrel rate, barrel expected weighted on base. So Judge is definitely the better hitter, and I think he will continue to be the better hitter. I will say I think Shohei is a little bit underperforming right now, which is kind of crazy. So who knows? Maybe if he has a very good second half, he could be expected to possibly reach 40 home runs this year. I know he's on pace for around 35, 36 right now, but you never know. He could have a really hot month. Last year, he had an incredible first half. I think he had 30 home runs in the first half, so I could definitely see Shohei Ohtani reaching 40 home runs, but I feel like that's kind of where his ceiling is, whereas Judge could definitely reach that 60 home run threshold. And we do have to take a look at Shohei's pitching as well to see if he can sustain the kind of production he's putting up right now as well. 78th percentile average exit velo on the mound, 93rd percentile in strikeout percentage. So he's a dominant strikeout pitcher on the mound. Doesn't get people to chase as much as usual. Curve spin's not that great. Fastball spin's not that great. He does have a very, very fast fastball velocity, so he's in the 88th percentile there. 89th percentile in whiff rate, so he gets a ton of swings and misses. Doesn't get a lot of guys to chase outside of the zone, though, so that's unfortunate. And he doesn't walk a lot of batters. So I honestly think Shohei could easily sustain this production on the mound, as well as I think he's underperforming offensively. That was my personal opinion. So I actually think Shohei is on pace to have a better second half than he did first half, at least at the bat. We'll see pitching-wise. I think he's kind of where he should be. I don't think he has a much higher ceiling. Definitely think there is a little bit of possible regression there, personally. So let's take one last look at it, and I will give you my top 5 MVP candidates right off the top of my head right now. Obviously, we talked about Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge for the bulk of this video, but I would like to give some consideration to some other guys out here. So I'll give you my top 5. At number 5, I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez having a dominant season. Very underrated. The most underrated player in baseball for my money. 185 WRC plus, 630 slugging percentage, 393 on base, gets on base 4 times out of 10 at-bats, 302 batting average if you care about that. The thing that's most impressive about Jose Ramirez, I think he might be the best hitter in baseball. 7.4% strikeout percentage. This dude just does not strike out. He literally makes contact with every pitch that he wants to. It is incredible. 12.5 walk rate is very good as well. And he's fast. 12 stolen bases. That is way more than any of these other guys in the MVP conversation. Trout has 0. Judge only has 5. Yordan Alvarez, who we'll talk about in a second, has 0. Devers has 2. The only guy, there isn't anybody in the MVP race right now, in the MVP discussion, that has anywhere close to the number of stolen bases. So that's got to be a factor as well. and he's a good defensive third baseman as well. So Jose Ramirez definitely deserves some MVP consideration. I got him at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I've got probably Yordan Alvarez. I think Yordan Alvarez might be the best hitter in baseball right now. I know Judge has more home runs than him, but honestly, I think Yordan Alvarez might be a better hitter than Judge. It's very, very close. 201 WRC plus, higher than Judge. He's got a very similar slugging percentage, only separated by 5 points, it looks like. Higher on-base percentage, higher batting average if you care about that, lower strikeout percentage, higher walk percentage, 1 less RBI, about 10 less runs scored. Only 6 home runs separate the two. So honestly, for my money, I think Yordan Alvarez might be a better hitter than Aaron Judge, but he is a DH. So I think Judge still has more value than him. I think Judge deserves to be higher in the MVP race, but Yordan Alvarez is going to be my number 4. Just above him, I got Mike Trout, 187 WRC plus, 640 slugging percentage, 385 on base, 284 batting average. The only thing you can really knock him for is his high strikeout percentage, as well as his slightly lower batting average, but it looks like he's gotten a little unlucky. He also had that very cold stretch in the middle of his season during that 14-game Angels losing streak, but he's also a very good defensive center fielder. He's also very fast, although he doesn't steal a lot of bases because he hits so many home runs, he doesn't get on base too much. So Mike Trout, I got him at number 3 personally, just because he's a defensive center fielder. I think he has a little bit more value than Yordan Alvarez. However, I'd take Yordan's bat over him. And then Judge, I think, is the complete package. So Judge, I got at number 2, 188 WRC plus, 663 slugging, leads all of baseball. 379 on base percentage is not too bad. 302 batting average, pretty good as well. Strikes out a ton, just like Mike Trout does. Walks pretty well, but doesn't walk as good as any of the other 3 guys I've mentioned so far. And then 5 stolen bases, 52 RBIs, 27 home runs. Just super impressive. Aaron Judge having a phenomenal season. If Shohei Ohtani didn't exist, he would be the clear front runner in my opinion. But Shohei Ohtani exists, man. I'm going with Shohei. How can you not? How can you not? 131 WRC plus isn't amazing, but it's still well above league average. 31% higher than league average, obviously. 487 slugging, still very far above league average. 336 on base is pretty average. 260 average is pretty average. I know I've said that like 6 times in a row now. And then when it comes to pitching, man, he's just a phenomenal pitcher on the mound too. 68 1/3 innings pitched. That is 68 more, as we talked about, than any of the other 4 guys I just mentioned. More strikeouts per 9 than any of the guys we just mentioned. Overall, I just don't know how you can equate the two. It's so hard. He needs his own award or something. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. He's so talented. I don't think people give him enough credit, and people give him a lot of credit. Some people probably think he's overrated. I think he's still underrated with how good he is of a player. So those are my picks for the MVP race. J-Ram at 5, Yordan Alvarez at 4, Mike Trout at 3, Aaron Judge at 2, and Shohei Ohtani at number 1. Let me know what your picks are in the comment section down below. I would like to have some arguments in the comment section. Not arguments, but debates about the MVP race. I would like to keep it civil though, so please make sure that we're being nice to each other. There's no reason. They're both really good baseball players. Aaron Judge is a phenomenal dude. Love the guy. I've seen him since 2015 All-Star Futures game. I actually met him in person. Don't have a picture with him, unfortunately, but dude is a stud, class act, love to see him. Same thing with Shohei Ohtani. How could you hate the guy? He's such a lovable, fun-loving guy. So let's have a debate about it in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like on this video to help it reach more baseball fans. And don't forget to subscribe for more daily MLB content. I will see you guys all in the next one. Thanks again so much for watching.